I got a call from one of my clients this week, and we were discussing, a little frustration about new releases that he was putting out, and he wasn't really getting the traction that he wanted, and he doesn't know what he's doing wrong. And so as I was talking him through really understanding what his day-to-day looks like and having a discussion in regards to, well, is music your hobby or is it your career? And because there were so many good points that we went through that kind of triggered him and got him motivated and thinking, gosh, I just never thought of trying that, I thought maybe I would share some of that stuff with you guys today. So in today's video, I'm going to give you some things to think about when considering whether your music is a hobby or a career. Hi guys, I'm Ms. Crystal. I'm an entertainment attorney, public speaker, and author of How to Keep Your Dukes Up in the Music Business. I'm the owner of Dukes Up Records, and most importantly, I'm an independent musician. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss our weekly videos helping you with your music career and getting you to that next level. By popular demand, we now have How to Keep Your Dukes Up in the Music Business as a direct digital download, which means you can get the book to your device right now. And this is something that I developed as really your A to Z guide on having a successful music career. It's everything that I've learned being in the music industry and the entertainment industry since I was 4 years old, and now as an entertainment attorney today, I can show you the practical stuff from your day-to-day to also the more meatier stuff on the legal side with contracts, protecting yourself, copyrights, trademarks, and everything in between. So make sure you get your copy, linked down in the description below. As a baseline starting point, are you passionate about music? And 99.9% of you are going to say yes. And there's no surprise there, but passion doesn't necessarily create a career, right? So I might be passionate because I really like doing certain things like painting. I like to crochet, but these things aren't necessarily going to be my career. It might just be stuff that I do on my off time. So part of the conversation comes to, all right, what is your plan right now? What is kind of the strategy for what you're doing? Because at the end of the day, the core of what you do is you create music. And so are you creating music right now? And if not, why aren't you creating music? And I bet for a lot of you, maybe you're kind of feeling a little unmotivated to do it because we have a lot of difficulty sometimes with just bringing awareness to our music and awareness to our brands and what we're doing because social media, marketing, not knowing how to market ourselves. And so psychologically, we'll kind of get down on ourselves and we'll say, what's the point of putting out a new release because no one's going to hear it? Why am I going to put out the effort? But you still feel this burning passion inside of you that you want to do it. So you end up kind of becoming your own worst enemy. So the difference between, let's say, someone who does this as a hobby and someone who does it as a career is going to be their discipline to still put out music and to still work on creating new music even when they don't feel like it. Because a real career, right, any field of, let's say if you went into medicine, if you went into law, if you went into accounting, you have to do the thing. But when it comes to our music careers, now the obligation is on us. We are our own bosses. And so some of us don't have that discipline right out the gate to know that we got to get up and we're going to have a certain quota that we're going to meet. And so whether it's getting in the studio once a day or just having a schedule, because look, some of us have day jobs, some of us are in school, some of us have families, and that's all okay because look, we got lives we need to lead. But at the end of the day, if you're not disciplined enough to even late at night or super early in the morning, getting up and getting it done, that's going to be the difference between you actually taking it serious like a career versus treating it like a hobby. And a personal example, might be when I decided to go to law school. Look, side note, I was terrified of going to law school because I was scared about the time that I would be doing so much with law school and studying and this and that I wouldn't have time for my music career. And that was the reason I almost didn't go to law school, but I just made that decision that I would do whatever I needed to do to make the time. So what ended up happening is that I had to get up at 4 a.m. on normal weekdays, get in the studio for 2 hours, and then go to my law school classes, study, do everything that I gotta do, and then late at night, I would get back into the studio. So my first year of law school, I actually put out an album that I had written and co-produced with someone else. And so, again, in even just that instance and that kind of pressure and that kind of stress, I had made the decision that nothing was going to stop me in putting out music. And I was even doing live shows as well. And I remember I just felt like I was going to die for some of these shows as I was about to do. It was like midnight, we're doing a rave, and I just am so exhausted. But again, just that discipline of there's nothing more important than my music career. And so I'm going to figure it out one way or another. Now, you also might be thinking, well, is it really a career if you're not full-time with it, right? Well, have a plan for what it looks like that maybe at some point in the near future, you'll be sustainable enough that all you are going to be doing is making music, producing, writing, whatever it is that you do in the music field. But sometimes that takes time. I get it. Sometimes we need to have our normal 9-to-5s for that security before we're able to make that jump, because all of a sudden now you are fully responsible for your successes and failures. And I remember even for me, again, that was kind of scary, getting out of law school and then deciding to start my own law firm. Because in the same kind of way, I was like, all right, I don't want to go too far away from music. I love music. I love the entertainment industry. So I went in as an entertainment attorney. So it kept me close. It allowed me to deal with record labels and do these deals. And so, in a way, I was still kind of doing the music thing, but I still needed to have that income in order to do everything else that I wanted to do, to pay for music videos, to put out music. And so a part of my plan has just been progressively, how do I make sense of my music career in conjunction with kind of my boring day job that's not so boring, as I like to say. But, something that I've heard someone even recently say is when you give yourself a deadline that you have to meet and then you just won't pursue it anymore, that's a bad sign. And what I mean is if you say, by this certain point in a year, in 3 years, or by a certain age, I have to be, let's say, successful and have my hit single and this and that. If I don't reach that point, then I'm done. Well, for me, that's a distinction between you wanted to do it, it was treated more like a hobby. It's not a career. If it really is a career and you have to do this thing, there is no plan B. And for me, sometimes I even laugh about it. I just go, like, the worst industry to be in is music, to try to have a music career. There's nothing more difficult. As someone who, studied for the state bar, staff for the state bar, and is an attorney today, I can still say the most difficult thing I've ever done is to do my music career and try to make it sustainable. But it's possible. And so it's from your discipline and your commitment that this is what you want to do that is really going to make a hobby into a real long-term career. And to reiterate the point, treating yourself like a business, meaning your career like a business, is going to be that stepping stone to that next level for you. From your money, knowing what money's coming in, what's going out, being organized on, when is music going out? When do you have to kind of get to that next step, which is, let's say, a music video or some kind of visualizer. So kind of creating a timeline, creating a to-do list is going to be really, really important. But also, something that you can definitely take away from this video is that you have to be resilient. You have to be willing to try new things, because what you're going to find is that you're going to try some stuff. It's not going to work. It's not going to pan out. And then maybe you saw someone's video on YouTube and they said, if you do this, you're going to get your first 1,000 subscribers. You try that stuff and it doesn't work. And then all of a sudden you kind of feel bad about yourself and you feel like a loser. And you're like, God, it should have worked for me, but it didn't. It doesn't mean any of that. It means that whatever that strategy, it wasn't applicable to you or maybe your audience. And so you gotta shift gears and try something new. And when I kind of started failing faster, if that makes sense, I remember, just being like, it doesn't even matter. If something doesn't work, that's okay. Move on. I don't feel bad. It just didn't work. And so you get to more of those successful points faster because you're trying new things and you're starting to get a little bit of momentum, but you gotta detach and you gotta not think about the emotional stuff or feel like something means something, because it usually doesn't. You just don't even know, especially when it's things like, I reached out to these people and they never bothered to get back to me and they must think I suck. And, they probably didn't even see your email. So you have to be super, super resilient and be trying new things. And I know for the client that I was speaking with, this definitely triggered some ideas and just going, you're absolutely right. If something isn't working right now, it might not be you, it might be the strategy. So it's time to change courses. And as a super pro tip, get uncomfortable. This is something even with me, even with my team, in order for us to grow, in order for us to do new things, we have to try new stuff. And sometimes that's scary because we find things that work for us and we don't want things to get messed up. But in order to grow, you gotta be willing to get uncomfortable and to take those steps that you need to essentially grow your career, your brand, your fan following, and basically everything in between. Speaking of music, I just released my new album, Dangerous Daughters, which is available on all music platforms, as well as a music video for Holy Water, which is off of that album. I'll be sure to link it at the end of this video. Don't forget to come say hi on social media. I'm definitely the most active on Instagram, and it's always great to meet you guys. I'm gonna get out of here, but thank you for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe, turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss any videos from your new favorite redhead. I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm Miss Crystal. Bye.